Welcome to Fininsergy. We all know life can throw curveballs at us, whether it's a sudden car repair, a medical emergency, or even job loss. That's why it's essential to have an emergency fund. In today's video, we're going to walk you through everything you need to know about building your own emergency fund and how it can serve as your financial safety net. An emergency fund is one of the most important tools for protecting your financial future. Let's dive into how you can start building it, no matter where you are in your financial journey. 1. What is an emergency fund and why do you need one? An emergency fund is a set amount of money that you set aside for unexpected expenses. Think of it as your financial safety net, money you can rely on when life doesn't go as planned. Whether it's an emergency room visit, car repairs, or a job loss, having an emergency fund will help you handle those situations without going into debt. Without an emergency fund, you might have to rely on credit cards or loans to cover unexpected costs, which can lead to more debt and financial stress. Having an emergency fund helps you stay in control during tough times. 2. How much should you save for an emergency fund? So, how much should you have in your emergency fund? A good rule of thumb is to save 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. This amount should cover all of your essential bills like rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, and any other necessary expenses. Start by calculating your monthly expenses, then multiply that by 3 or 6 to get your target emergency fund goal. Keep in mind, if you have dependents or if your job is less stable, you may want to aim for the higher end of that range. 3. Where should you keep your emergency fund? Once you've decided how much to save, the next step is figuring out where to keep your emergency fund. The goal is to have your money easily accessible in case of an emergency, but also earning some interest. The best place to keep your emergency fund is in a high-yield savings account or a money market account. These accounts offer better interest rates than regular savings accounts while keeping your money safe and liquid. Avoid putting your emergency fund in stocks or long-term investments, as these can be volatile and may not be accessible quickly. 4. How to start saving for your emergency fund. Now that you know how much to save and where to keep it, let's talk about how to actually start building your emergency fund. The easiest way to do this is by setting up automatic transfers from your checking account to your emergency fund savings account. Start small. If you need to $25 or $50 a week is a great way to begin. The key is consistency. The more frequently you contribute, the faster your emergency fund will grow. 5. Cutting back on expenses to save more. To speed up the process of building your emergency fund, you may need to cut back on non-essential expenses. This could mean dining out less, canceling unused subscriptions, or finding cheaper alternatives for your regular purchases. Even small changes can add up over time. Consider putting any extra money you have, like bonuses or tax refunds, directly into your emergency fund. 6. Stay disciplined and avoid using your fund for non-emergencies. It's tempting to dip into your emergency fund for non-emergencies, but remember, this money is meant for true emergencies only. Avoid using it for planned expenses like vacations or big purchases. Once you've built your fund, you'll have peace of mind knowing it's there for when you really need it. If you do use your emergency fund, make sure to replenish it as soon as possible to ensure it's available for future unexpected expenses. 7. Reevaluate your emergency fund as your life changes. As your life changes, so should your emergency fund. If you get a raise, change jobs, or have children, you might need to increase the amount you save. Regularly check your progress and adjust your savings goal to make sure it's still enough to cover your needs. Life doesn't stay the same, and neither should your emergency fund. Stay proactive in reviewing it and adjusting as needed. Building an emergency fund may take time, but it's one of the most important things you can do for your financial future. Having that safety net will provide you with the peace of mind to handle life's unexpected events with confidence. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who might need help building their emergency fund. Let me know in the comments. How much are you aiming to save for your emergency fund? I'd love to hear from you. See you next time on Fininsergy.